Hey there guys and gals, I have said it before, spring is right around the corner. Riding season officially starts. And I'll say it again, the riding season is almost here. Of course, some of you have already been out and about. We did have some nice warm weather here on St. Patrick's Day for northern New York, but still way too much salt for me to take my baby out. And I'm way too lazy to wash her after I get back. If you live in a cold climate and you were lucky enough to get on your scoot and go for a scoot this past week, then I'm sure you had fun, and I certainly hope that you had the time and tenacity to wash your bike when you got back. Please, I hope you washed your bike. And speaking of riding, sooner or later, if you're like most motorcyclists that I know, you're going to want to go on a group ride with some friends. Maybe it'll just be members of your H.O.G chapter. It might be a big charity ride. So this week I thought we should go over some common group riding practices. That way you can put safety first and have fun. How do I know? In case you're new here, my name is Dawn, aka Irish Bob's sister, and I've been working at Harley-Davidson dealerships for nearly 15 years now. If you are wanting to know more about the motor company, what it's like to work at a Harley-Davidson dealership, or just more about motorcycling in general, then you should hit that subscribe button right now. But before we get into that, I want to hear from you. Would you like me to do a video about how to organize a group ride, maybe even a group ride for charity? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're new to motorcycling, possibly need a coach to help you get from beginner to biker, then please check out my website, irishbobsister.com. I think you'll find some great information there. So, on to group riding, because there's a lot to know when it comes to riding in a group. Everything from where you need to place your bike to how to communicate with the rest of the group. That's due to the fact that you are not just responsible for yourself. You are also sharing in the responsibility to make sure that the ride is safe and fun for everyone going along. So here's a quick test to help ensure that you know what you need to know. As always, if you see that I've missed something or you have a tip or trick that you'd like to share, let me know in the comments below. You'll not only be helping me out, but others as well. The first part of the test goes over hand signals. These are pretty universal across the US. If you are living outside of the United States and they're different, then please let me know that as well. I'm always interested in learning something new. With that being said, is this the signal to stop, slow down, or speed up? And what am I telling the group to do here? How do I tell someone my bike needs fuel? Is it this, this, or this? What am I telling the rest of the group here? If your group has a pre-ride meeting, they should go over the ride signals so that way everyone is on the same page. And even if you're in the middle of the group, you'll want to pass those signals down so everyone in the group will see them. Now, on to the 5 riding questions that you should know the answer to. Matching the interest and abilities of a group of riders is the main consideration of the ride organizer. That rider should prepare the route and control the group's activities while underway. At the same time, each member of the group should be aware of their own responsibilities as well. One of those responsibilities is to be prepared before you even arrive at the group ride. That means you should A. Eat a good breakfast, B. Perform a T-Clocks inspection and top off your bike, C. Bring snacks and drinks for everyone in the group, or D. Leave a light on at home. If you've been riding for a bit, you'll know that the answer is B. You'll want to make sure your bike is working like it's supposed to and start off with a full tank of gas. You should also be familiar with the limits of your own riding skills. For instance, on longer trips, you need to be aware of your own stamina. When it comes to group riding formations, a smart defensive riding strategy is definitely the way to go. Spacing of the group is important for safety. The distance between you and the other riders is your safety cushion. A good rule of thumb here is to ride A, nose to tail, single file, B, side by side, C, slow way down and then catch up to the group, or D, 2 seconds between every other rider in a staggered formation. Again, if you've been on any sort of group ride before, you already know that most of them will ride in a staggered formation. That's because it takes up less space than riding single file. It's easier for others to see that you're in a group. You'll still have adequate cushion between other riders, and you're less likely to be separated by traffic coming into the group. There are times, though, that the leader will signal to ride single file, such as getting on or off an interstate or highway, toll booths, traffic circles, on bad or grooved roads, and on roads that are full of curves, the best kind, that are narrow and or don't have a shoulder. And you can ride side-by-sides in parades and on police-escorted rides because you're riding at a slower speed. Riding in a group will increase your visibility over riding alone. That being said, you still need to pay attention to high-risk areas, even though you are riding with a group. The area of greatest risk, whether you're riding alone or with others, is A, the highway or interstate, B, a 2-lane backcountry road, C, any road with traffic on it, or D, at an intersection. Of course, you'll always want to put your safety and that of the group first. And you know that even in a group setting with increased visibility, intersections are the area of highest risk. During the pre-ride meeting, your group put out the plan on dealing with intersections and what to do if part of the group gets stuck at a light, at an intersection where you're turning left and that it's unprotected, and at intersections where you'll need to merge or yield. A reminder that blocking an intersection without specific permission can get you in trouble with the local LEOs. At certain charity rides and parades, group rides can get the okay from the county sheriff or state troopers to block intersections. If that's the case, again, they'll go over that in the pre-ride meeting on which intersections they are, who's going to be doing the blocking. Usually an advanced group goes and blocks the intersection for you, and how to get through that intersection safely. Somehow, someway, despite everyone's careful planning, you've gotten yourself separated from the group. It happens. What do you do now? A, panic. B, screw it, I'll just go home. C, continue all by yourself to the next stop or destination. Or D, ride like a bat out of hell and catch back up. Your initial reaction might be to panic, although I'm sure you know by now that that's not the correct answer. Chances are the leaders of the group ride put this out in the pre-ride meeting, letting you know what the stops were and where the final destination was going to be. And they gave you their cell phone number in case something like this happened. So in this case, the correct answer is actually C, to ride to the next stop or final destination and catch back up with the group. You might even catch back up with them along the way. If you do decide to go home, then please call the group leader and let them know. That way they know that you're okay and they're not going to send the rescue squad looking for you. A rider in the middle of the group has a mechanical issue and has to pull over to the side of the road. You're behind that rider, so now you have to A, continue with the main group and let the lead rider know what happened. B, panic. C, rush to the front of the pack, tell the ride leader and have everybody double back. Or D, stop with the rider who broke down until they can get safely back on the road or until help arrives. Did you figure out my trick question? In this instance, all the riders that were following or behind that rider who broke down should pull over with that rider. This includes the rider that is riding sweep, the experienced rider at the back of the group whose responsibility is that no one gets left behind. The sweep rider will decide what to do. That may mean that one rider goes ahead to the next stop or the final destination to let the other riders in that group know what happened. The riders in front of the rider who broke down should never double back. This can cause confusion with other drivers who are in the area, which would mean an additional safety concern. And that's it. How many questions did you get right? Did you learn something new? Did my questions spark a question or two in you? Let me know in the comments below if you don't mind. Not only does it help the algorithm, and I'd like to make sure all your questions are answered, I'd also like to know what resonated with you. While you're there, be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. If you want to see more, then again, click that subscribe button. And if you'd like to be notified when I upload new content, then click that bell. Going on a group ride is one of the greatest riding experiences. Being part of the group is a great way to share in on the fun and camaraderie of the sport. And by knowing the answers to these questions, you're going to have a safe and fun ride. Until next week, guys and gals, please be safe, be kind to one another, especially those who are dealing with the crisis in Ukraine. Ride when you can and have fun.